What's going on, virtual golfers? Welcome back. I hope you're all enjoying your early access. And if you are not into the early access yet, hopefully we'll be seeing you on Friday for the full release of the game. Today, we've got a new developer diary, this time for the course designer. I'm expecting this one to be the fourth and final one. We will put out more videos if we get more of these. And obviously, we are streaming the game and making some content along the way. So, before we dive in, one thing I would like to say is thank you guys so much for 1,000 subs on YouTube. Really cool to finally hit that milestone, and I just have you guys to thank for that. So thank you very much, and let's dive in and see what they've got for the course designer. Now, I want to preface this just a little bit. I am not a course designer. I've never designed a course outside of a little practice range, and I'll do another video making one in 2K25 at some point here in the near future. So we're going to be looking at this through the lens of a player more so than a designer, which I don't think is necessarily a bad perspective. Going to be seeing probably a lot of things that we can be excited for.
Hey golfers, my name is Christian Andrade, level designer at HP Studios, and welcome to another PGA Tour 2K25 developer diary. Today, I'm excited to share more about our...
I think it's kind of funny. This is just like a silly thing. They don't want you to know what platform, I guess, that they're designing on. I don't know why it's a secret, but they've taken the time to go through and blur out every single one of the button previews. Now, I don't know if that's because they might change mapping and stuff from the time that they recorded this to released it, but I just think that's a funny little thing.
Our course designer feature. What is really the most exciting part about the course designer is the endless possibilities and creative freedom it offers to our users.
Oh, absolutely.
HB has been iterating on the course designer since the inception of the series, and with each iteration, our aim is to increase the scope of what our users can create and make it easier for them to do so.
The tree showing up in the middle of the green, I know there are courses out there that people have done that sort of thing on, and for a brief moment, I was like, are they really about to plant a tree in the middle of the green on this demo?
So, you can access Course Designer from the main menu in PGA Tour 2K25 under the Design section. From here, you can view your collection of published
all the way
or
buried
unpublished
at
courses,
the end, as always.
Start a brand new course, or import a course from the previous iteration of PGA Tour 2K. Inside the Course Designer, you have the option of starting from various themes, and in Course Designer, you have a new course.
Just back a second. I guess it's kind of hiding behind here. Just back on the blurred out thing. It's obvious that they're using an Xbox controller. They're colored. Why are you blurring it? Okay.
Option of starting from various themes and environments. The themes that you get to choose from are desert, boreal, tropical, countryside, harvest, winter, delta, rustic.
That winter
Swiss,
one is like actually
steppe,
like super
autumn,
winter.
Highlands, and new this year, temperate. Designers' favorite tools are here to stay with vast ways to create the course of your dreams. Designer tools like placing multiple types of surfaces, sculpting the terrain to your will, and detailing out your course are in the designer. Publishing your course for all to play is still very easy. Just make sure to name it appropriately, test it out yourself before publishing, and take a striking screenshot to highlight your course.
I think with the improvements that they're making graphically, I think we're going to get some really nice screenshots. I know that we're already getting some nice flyover type things that people are able to do with the replay system. I think you're going to get some really nice looking stuff. And also, I'm just a sucker for like the autumn, all of the fall foliage. I just think that given that little pop of color always looks really, really nice. But I'm excited to see what people are able to design. It's always just a shame to me. It feels like the course designer is like the least publicized thing. Like they talk about it, right? They're putting something like this out, but generally speaking, these sorts of videos hit their like core audience, and I just have always felt like the course designer is a big piece of the game, and if you could advertise it and get it to that community of like people that play sim builder games, right? That like Sim City, City Skylines, those sorts of things, people that had just enough interest in golf, and it's like, hey, you can build and design fully flushed out golf courses with a ton of detail, and people can then play it. Like, I think there's a market there for that just isn't really ever tapped.
We're excited to show off a bunch of brand new additions and quality of life updates we've made to the Course Designer this iteration. First, let's look at course camera tools. Our goal is to give users an approachable experience for creating course camera sequences. These are the same camera tools we've been using for official courses for the previous 2 releases, polished and packaged for your use on your own courses. Next, we have new spline tools for lakes and rivers. Making these types of water elements in previous iterations would take a lot of time. Now it's possible with just a few clicks and adjustments. We have also added 2 new standard course surfaces to the Course Designer's palette. Like the additional surfaces from previous titles, these 2 can be customized to be used for various kinds of materials like cart paths and more. One of the biggest updates to our new...
I think the ease of some of these things more than anything. I think there are some features, especially like with the water, that take a while for designers to be able to get done to get their courses out. So even if we as the players don't see some of the things that go into it, I think there are going to be a lot of touches that it's like, oh, that looks really nice. But anything that it can improve the efficiency, it makes it so that the designer spends less time, which is like a twofold effect, right? We as the player get more courses faster, and probably better as well. But when a designer has to slave over a single project for less time, it probably wears you out less, right? It's not going to increase the throughput, to be so many more courses, but just chipping away that little bit at each project, having that little bit of performance, boost, for lack of a better term, keeps you a little bit fresher. You don't feel like you may be slogged over a course for as long. I think it's better overall for the entire ecosystem.
New surfacing system we call terrain painting. Designers will be able to choose from our 4 terrain surface layers.
The terrain painting stuff has looked very nice from what I've seen thus
layers,
far.
And the lowest bedrock layer. Each layer can have its texture chosen from across various themes and more. Also, the physics properties on each surface have been accurately modeled so the ball interacts appropriately with each unique texture.
That has been huge, and I have loved that some of these textures, your ball hits, and instead of just taking like a huge bounce, it hits and it rolls, and there's some nice, your ball draws a line and stuff, and it, from the few courses that I've played and the little bit that I've seen some other people play, that has been such a nice touch. There are still places where it bounces really firm and kicks out, but just like as that added layer of realism and difficulty that you have spots around the course that there's not just like a freebie back into the fairway. I love it.
It's often the little nuances and polish in the last 10% of work that makes the most difference, and edge blending is one of those features. You can now create a natural blend when 2 surfaces meet. Just as you'd see grass slightly grow into a path in real life, you can now adjust this with a simple slider.
Doesn't look great
While
on
we all
the
dream of picturesque
path,
greens with no flaws, in reality that's rarely the case. With surface weathering, designers
others
can now add slight browning of grass in areas of the course to create a sense of texture and variation within the visuals of the course. With our focus on delivering the best experience on the latest gaming platforms, we were able to import higher quality rocks,
on
trees,
the green,
grasses, and assets, such as new rocks that have varying degrees of wetness applied to them for those detailed cliff sides, and new fescue.
I bet you that's what they used on the Pebble Beach screenshots. That little bit of texturing to it, that little bit of wetness, all of that stuff, it just looks that little bit nicer.
Grasses that adjust their color based on the surfaces they are on. New to PGA Tour 2K25 is our new high-resolution terrain system. Compared to previous titles, the new terrain in 2K25 now supports a denser mesh, allowing the user to sculpt finer details with little to no unwanted edges in the terrain geometry.
Nice.
With this new terrain system comes updates to bunkering, where you can now stamp bunkers to customize their depth, lip depth, lip
Say
start,
some of that's
and
going to be
lip
some pretty
steepness,
nasty bunker
allowing
lips.
designers to truly choose the bunkering style. Also
Pulling
new
right off
for
the
2K25 is our updated cursor menu. You can now use custom filters to decide what you do and don't want to see in the designer at any given moment. This
Okay.
improves the functionality of features such as area select, making it easier to select only what you want.
Very
Designers
nice.
are also now able to quickly move anything placed by pressing and holding their move button. This removes the need
move
to
a
have to
bunch
go
of
through
trees?
menus just to move an object. As you can see, there's a lot we've done with Course Designer this iteration, both in terms of new functionality and quality of life improvements. We're always excited to see what the community comes up with, but it is really quality of life improvements.
The little time of day slider. Look at that. Look at that level of detail that the designers are able to put into the lighting system. Time of day, orientation, and inclination. You're going to get some really nice lighting, especially in certain parts of courses. Right, you're going to have some holes. I've already seen it playing. You get the lens flare around your character. Yeah, there's going to be some very beautiful stuff coming out, I can already tell.
Always excited to see what the community comes up with, but it is really exciting to see all the incredibly innovative ways our creators use the tools in ways we've never even dreamed of to really push courses to a whole new level. I really can't wait to play all the wild and dreamlike courses that will soon be out there.
I can't wait either. I can't wait either. I know there's probably going to be some other people that do full breakdowns and like very hands-on thing of a lot of the nuances of the course designer. But I will just say, from the player's perspective, I am very, very excited to see what comes of it. Adding these tools, improving, and just the way that the game feels and looks that little bit better. There's going to just be some really nice stuff to play, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's all we've got for this breakdown. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.